Parzival, Chapter 6, The Grail King. Parzival did not know, as he rode forth so hopefully from Trevisante's cave, that the greatest battle of his life lay just ahead. An infidel king, whose ships lay at anchor in a nearby port, was riding out alone, bent on adventure. When he saw Parzival approach, the infidel raised his lance and challenged. This time, Parzival was not mooning over drops of blood in the snow. He saw the strangely apparelled knight at the same moment as he was seen. The two of them spurred their mounts forward and charged. The infidel was amazed. Never had a knight kept his saddle under such a charge. Both knights renewed the attack, galloping toward each other again and again and again until the mouths of their great war horses were afoam, and both beasts too weary to continue. The two warriors leapt from their saddles. It was Ither's sword that Parzival drew from its sheath. He had left the sword from Wild Mountain with Trevisante, for it seemed too heavy a burden to bear. The infidel matched him blow for blow. Both helmets were badly dented. Both knights could feel warm blood flow beneath the cold steel of their armor. At last, with one mighty stroke, Parzival brought Ither's sword crashing down upon the infidel's helmet. The blow toppled his opponent to the ground, but Ither's sword broke off at the hilt. The blade went flying off into the underbrush. The infidel jumped to his feet. His sword still lay in his hand. Parzival steeled himself against one last fatal blow. It did not come. Instead, his enemy spoke. "I vow, you are the kind of man who would keep fighting without a weapon. But how could I gain honor from such a victory? If we start fighting now, you will lose no honor. For I swear, if your sword had not broken, you would have made chopped meat of me. I propose a truce, at least until we can catch our breath and rest our bones." The weary Parzival nodded, and both men sat down against a grassy mound. The infidel spoke first. "Who are you, bold knight? It is not hard to guess that you come from noble parentage." When Parzival hesitated, the stranger went on. "No," he said, "I have been discourteous. I will not force you to reveal yourself, but let me introduce myself to you. I am Ferfiz Angevin, king of many lands, but they are far from here." "You cannot be called Angevin," Parzival said. "I am Angevin, heir through my father of Anjou." As he spoke, he remembered something Kundry, the sorceress, had said that terrible day when she cursed him in the presence of Arthur's court. "Still there is one who might call himself Angevin. He lives in heathen lands, but he may be my brother, sir." Oh, this is Parzival talking. "Still, there is one who might call himself Angevin. He lives in heathen lands, but he may be my brother, sir," said Parzival, rising to his feet. "If you would take off that helmet and let me see you, I could tell if you might be he. Don't fear, I shall not attack you unhelmeted." The infidel laughed and stood up. "You could hardly attack me at all, without a sword, unless you mean to wrestle. That would hardly be a fair fight. As on your first hold," he pointed his sword at the buckle on Parzival's breastplate, "I could take my sword and part your flesh from your sinew. Here," he said, hurtling his sword far into the bushes. "Now we are even. Tell me about this infidel brother of yours." Parzival told the strange knight what Kundry had said. "So," he concluded, "he is neither black as a Moor nor white as Angevin. He must be a pied mixture of black and white, though I'm not sure how that can be." Again, Ferfiz laughed, and then he took off his helmet. Indeed, he was neither wholly white nor black, but something between the two. When Parzival saw that the strange knight was truly his brother, he took off his own helmet and embraced him. Ferfiz was overjoyed. "Take me to see our father," he said. "All my life I have longed to see his face." "I too," said Parzival, "but alas, he died before I was born. But come, I will take you to Arthur's court. There you will meet kinsfolk aplenty." When Sir Gawain heard that Parzival and a stranger were riding for the place where Arthur's court was presently encamped, he rode out with joy to meet them. He greeted them both and took them to his own tent, so they might bathe off the grime and rust of battle, and he gave them fresh garments to wear. Again the king ordered a feast, where Parzival and his new-met brother would be guests of honor. Ferfiz was deeply touched by the king's warm hospitality. He sent word to his ships that golden jewels should be brought. These he distributed to everyone, so that even the strolling entertainers left that place rich as nobles. In the midst of the feasting, a horse and rider appeared. The rider was a woman, dressed in rich black samite. Her robe was decorated with a flock of turtle doves embroidered in fine gold thread. No one could see her face because it was covered by a heavy black veil. She rode into the middle of the circle to where King Arthur and his queen were seated. She greeted them both. "Son of Pendragon," she said, "I have come to beg forgiveness for a great wrong that I have done to one of your noble guests." Immediately she turned to Parzival, who sat beside the queen. She climbed off her great black horse and fell on her knees before him. "Son of Gomerich," she said, "for the sake of your good mother, grant me pardon for all the wrong I have done you." Parzival realized that the woman was Kundry, the sorceress. "Your curse has given me much pain," he said, "but the sin was mine alone. I bear you no malice." "Oh, happy man!" Kundry cried out. And when she stood, everyone could see that it was she. "God is about to show his grace through you. You are destined to be the Grail King. Already God's mercy is at work. Your wife, Condrawamers, had twin sons after you left her. They are now lusty lads, 5 years old. Cadiz shall one day rule over Anjou, and Walrus and Norglis, which are yours by birth, but as for Longerin, he shall be your heir at Wild Mountain. Now, my lord, choose one companion whom you trust with all your heart, and follow me, for I am sent to lead you into the presence of the Grail." With joy, Parzival asked his brother Farfraez to go with him, and as soon as they could make themselves ready, Lady Kundry led the two sons of Gomerich to the castle of the Grail. And we'll pause there.